a Sunday morning, you want me to get up and put some content out for you viewers. You can't be serious. On a Sunday morning, disturbing my beauty sleep. Hello, subscribers. Morning, subscribers. Hello, viewers. Hi, viewers. It's Sunday. Yeah, and I got 2 videos coming your way, by the way. So, yeah. One one on the Steam Deck 2 and Half-Life 3, and the other on the news. So got you guys covered on a Sunday. Yeah, got to put content on a Sunday. Just got to do it. So what I got for you here? Let's see here. I'm on tech power ups here. What do we got? See here. God Preservation Program grows to 248 games with 16 new games, including original Hitman. Yeah, I'm on a tablet here, folks. Says here, since its launch in November 2024, GOG Games Preservation Program has earned the distribution platform and its parent company, CD Projekt Red, a not insignificant amount of goodwill through its active development efforts to keep old game playable on modern PCs hardware. This run counters to recent trends in gaming that have resulted in popular games going offline while they still have active fans base. The most recent waves of news arrival in the GOG Preservation Program include some notable classics like Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition, Tom Clancy Splinter Cell, Hitman Codename 47, and bring the overall total to 248 games in the program. All right, nice. Says here the preservation effort aren't simply archival package. Either GOG has a development team working to somewhat technically modernize the games to test and ensure the stability by adding support for features like widescreen aspects, ratio fixing engine bugs and GPU usage issues, and adding features like frame rate limiters to eliminate physics errors. In total, GOG claims to have implemented 1,292 improvements to the games in its preservation program. Many of the improvements also includes quality of life fixes, says like support for an array of modern controllers and improved keyboards and mouse support. Says here all of the games added to the program are also DRM free, and many have added support for cloud saves. All right, and what we got on the list here? Says here the full list of new games in the GOG Preservation Program reads as follows: Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition, Spores Collection, Clive Barker Undying, Tom Clancy Splinter Cell, Hitman Codename 47, Nostradamus The Last Prophecy, Superhero Leagues of Hoboken, Hearts of China, Thunder Escape, North and South, Titus the Fox, to Macker Cake and back, Battle Chest 4000, Elvira Mistress of the Dark, Elvira 2 The Jaws of Cerberus, Call of Cthulhu, Prisoner of Ice and Blood. I think it says Blood Ring. Yeah, and that is that. So yeah, that's one piece of news for you Linux users or Steam users. And then it says 5 comments. Very base. GOG needs to be more popular to hopefully discourage publishers from using horrible DRMs. And this is from Shinindo. And then Lex Luthor said this: I have 2 of the titles in the above list. Rock on GOG. Anyway, and then who was this? Chaitanya said this: I have the original Hitman on disc. Was hoping the first 3 games would be remastered someday. And then Azriel said this: ooh, Clive Barker Undying. I actually bought that on GOG already. I wonder what they've done to it. Huh? Anyway, so yeah, that's the first piece of news on GOG. Now we're not done yet. Got another piece of news here for you. You 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 Steam Deck users, and this is about Steam. So I can find this article here. I'm just going through the list here. So where is it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, got you guys covered, man. Yeah, you know, gotta put the content out. Here's another one. Almost 90% of Windows games run on Linux, notes a report. Linux gaming has quietly reached a new inflection point. A recent boiling Steam summary of crowdsourced ProtonDB compatibility report shows that about 89.7% of Windows titles now at least launch on Linux systems. Says the numbers are spreading into a few categories. Games rated platinum, meaning they install, run, and save on Linux without requiring user intervention, made up 42% of new releases tracked in October. Then it says up from 29% the previous year. At the same time, the shares of titles that refuses to launch, the so-called borked cohort, has fallen to roughly 3.8%, a group that still includes deliberate blocks such as the March of Giants, which explicitly detects Wine and Proton and exit to desktop. See, it's the developers doing this. It wasn't the Steam Deck. Anyway, says here the most persistent obstacle are not obscure indies, but anti-cheat middleware and contractual choices. Says here, easy anti-cheats, BattleEye, and similar system remains the primary gatekeepers for online multiplayer. Enabling them on Linux is often more a negotiation than a mere technical flip of a switch. When a studio approves Steam Deck support, desktop Linux compatibility frequently follows with a single build cycle, suggesting the code path are already unified and only signs off is pending. Sorry about that. Then it says here, we recently saw a YouTuber test the Asus ROG Xbox Ally X with Bazzite, a Linux distribution similar to Valve's SteamOS. At 17 watts TDP, the Xbox Ally X achieves about 47 FPS in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on Windows. And then it says compared to 62 FPS on Bazzite at 13 watts, Windows get 35 FPS, while Bazzite reaches around 37 FPS. In Hogwarts Legacy, performance jumped from 50 FPS on Windows to 62 FPS on Bazzite at 17 watts. At 35 watts, the gap narrows to 5 FPS, with Bazzite still leading. Additionally, Bazzite delivers a more consistent frame rate. And it says, avoiding the frequent dips seen on Windows. When Valve decides to roll out SteamOS to the public, we might see an uptick of Linux gamers to the point where making a Windows exclusive title is no longer a common case. And got 52 comments on this one, so yeah. So just filling you guys in with the news here. Now, what else we got on the Steam on the Linux front here? Let's see here. I know. Let's see. Let's see. Video cards. Wait a minute. I think Tom Hardware got something on this. Yeah, got you guys, man. All right. Or better yet, Phoronix. Let's see here. What Phoronix has. Just keeping you guys in the loop here. So, see what we got. I thought I saw something on. Okay, I did Wine already. That's already done. Okay, Phoronix, what you got? I know you have something on Steam here. I saw it earlier. Boo! All right. Let's go to video cards. I know they got something on Steam here. Let me get it. Where are you? Video cards. Here you go. Got you guys covered, man. Got you guys covered. Yeah. Got to put content out on Sundays. Yeah. That's the way it is. All right. What do we got here? It says here, gaming on Linux is now accounting for 3% of players, according to the Steam survey. Okay. It says the Linux gaming community has reached a new milestone, with Steam on Linux finally surpassed 3% of of total user base, according to Valve's latest Steam hardware survey for October 2025, that is. Says here the new data shows Linux system now accounts for 3.5% of all active Steam users, marking a 0.41% increase month over month, and the highest share since Steam for Linux debuted over a decade ago. For comparison, Linux represent only 2% of Steam users in October 2024. Windows continues to dominate with 94.84%. See? Says here, slipping below 95% for the first time in months, while Mac OS hold 2.11%. And then it says, what it says here, according to Linux specific breakdown, SteamOS now represents about 1/3 of all Linux gaming system, or roughly 27% of Linux segments. This growth is largely attributed to the success of Valve's Steam Deck and other handheld PC running SteamOS or Proton-based Linux distribution. That was a lot. Anyway, says here, says, and continues to lead among Linux users with 67.1% CPU shares, while Intel accounts for 32.9%, a small gain from the previous survey. This, of course, is not surprising given that Steam Deck is running on AMD hardware. And then it says the 3% milestone reflects steady growth for Linux gaming, supported by the rise of handheld system and Proton ongoing improvements. Many handheld tests also indicates that Linux can deliver slightly better gaming performance even when using emulation. Now if only someone ports my favorite Windows app to Linux, not much would be holding me back from moving. This article is from VideoCard. And how many comments we got here? None? We gotta have some comments. We got 4 comments. Somebody said here, when the time comes, I will either choose Catchy OS or Bazite. Not sure about Pop OS. And that's Regal. And then Mirko said this: I switched from Windows 10 to Fedora 42 2 months ago. It's okay. I don't play multiplayer. I will never come back. And then Celia said this: I switched to Bazite in my desktop sometimes ago. Works great. And then Wizard said this. He replied. He said Radeon ? And that's that. Well, Linux is growing thanks to the SteamOS and Proton, and it's working their magic. And of course, Bazite. But Windows still got that market share of what's this? 94.84%. Yeah, they got the software market, man. And then Apple got 2.11%. Yeah, and what's Steam here? Windows, Steam got has 3.5. So Steam is growing. Steam Linux is growing, but they got work to do to catch Windows. Yeah, they have work. But other than that, yeah, another piece of news for you Linux gamers. Now, let me go over to Tom's Hardware here and see if I can pick something up. See, okay, Tom's Hardware. I know you got something. Yeah, I'm just keeping you guys in the loop. Just saying. Anyway, what do we got? Yeah, but Linux, they're growing though. Ever since they came out with that Steam Deck and SteamOS, they've been on the move. All right, now there was something here that I missed. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Okay, what's this? What was this? Oh, here's another piece of news for you, Linux gamers. Blah, blah. Anyway, sitting here messing up here. See what we got here. What do we got? Come on. All right. You got one more article here. Says here, Linux gamers won't be affected by the RX 5000/6000 series driver shift. AMD changed limited to Windows thanks to separated development. Another reason to game on Linux? Question mark. We We got one comment. Says here, AMD confused the gaming community greatly after it's announced it would put RDNA 1 and RDNA 2 driver support in maintenance mode, but later corrected the two architectures would still be receiving optimization regardless. Apparently, this confusion also led some people to believe game optimization it says here would also stop on AMD Linux driver as well. Luckily, Phoronix has published an article reaffirming that Linux support has not changed with this announcement, primarily because Linux AMD drivers are developed separately from their Windows counterpart. So that's good news for the Steam Deck too. AMD is still with Linux. Anyway, it says here Linux driver support is maintained very differently on AMD GPU drivers compared to AMD GPU drivers for Windows. Linux driver support for AMD typically dwarfs what AMD support officially in Windows. Kernel driver support reportedly dates back all the way to AMD GCN 1.2 architecture, which includes GPUs such as R9 390X and R9 Fury X. Helping matters is that AMD GPU driver support in Linux is heavily reliant on open source drivers. Up until September this year, AMD VLK driver was the official open source Linux driver from AMD and was maintained by AMD directly. Community distributors are also implemented to help improve the driver functionality. Now, says here, there is also exclusively community-driven RAD-V drivers that was started before AMD got into the Linux gaming, with its own AMD VLK driver being exclusively community-driven. RAD-V is maintained completely independently of AMD and is currently the de facto GPU driver for all Radeon GPUs for Linux. RAD-V is very robust and well-built driver solution that is supported by many of the industry tech giants, including Valve, Google, Red Hat. And then it says, this is why starting on September 15, 2025, AMD has opted to discontinue the AMD VLK driver altogether. Support for RAD-V has grown so much in strength that there is no need to have both AMD VLK and RAD-V coexisting. Hey, why not? Don't abandon it. That's what I say. Says here, performance on RAD-V also outshines AMD VLK in many situations. Okay, that makes more sense. Says here instead, AMD is backing RAD-V fully and shifting all of its GPU driver development and maintenance to RAD-V drivers. All of this is to say that Linux gamers can rest assured that any nasty driver support changes AMD makes on Windows side won't immediately be copied on the Linux side, even if AMD wants to start cutting support on Linux side. It can't anymore because it has discontinued its own official AMD VLK driver. Pulling the same stunt on RAD-V would be impossible because too many other companies and individuals are maintaining the driver. In other words, if AMD stopped development for certain GPUs, another company or individual would inevitably take over. And that is that. That's the end of the article. Now, we got one. So that's good news for the Steam Deck too. So that's good news. So AMD ain't going nowhere. They're married. No divorce. Anyway, let's see if I can get this. And then Fran said this one comment. Then this is getting an awful lot of attention. I wish back when NVIDIA burned GPUs with driver updates, they would have had this much coverage. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, that's the only comment. So yeah, you guys are good, and that's all the news I got to report. So that should hold you for now. I got 2 videos on Sundays. On a Sunday morning, you want me to get up and put some content out? Me. Anyway, I got some videos done for you guys, but that should hold you for now until the next video. So I'll keep you guys in the loop, keep you up to date. on what's going on Linux wise. I'll see what I can find and just put it out there and just keep pushing. But yeah, that should hold you for now. Keep you up to date, gaming wise. I got to get some more storage for my tablets, both of them, since I use one to record and one to read off of. Yeah, I gotta get that and get that out the way. So get that and then keep pushing. So yeah. But other than that, man, I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop, gaming wise, news wise, what's going on, and just keep moving forward. Thanks for the viewership. So thank you, subscribers. Thanks for the comments, everything. Thumbs up, thumbs down, like, dislike, comment. It's all part of the YouTube package. But yeah, I had to keep you guys in the loop. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.